Imagine a world where aging is no longer a fear, but an opportunity to live healthier and to live better. If we haven't met, I'm Dr. Orlando Landrum. Today, in the context of talking about those hallmarks of aging, one thing that we're going to do is explain each one of them so that it's able to be digested and understood. So what scientists have been asking in regards to hallmarks of aging has been going on for quite some time. And over the past decade, as mentioned, they've made incredible breakthroughs. In talking about the context of this paper, we know that everyone ages. It's part of life. But for centuries, scientists just really couldn't fully explain why we age. They knew things like cells divide, and they knew that wrinkles form and how that happens, but the full story was still a mystery. So in 2013, researchers published a groundbreaking paper in the journal Cell. It began to shed light on what's really happening inside our bodies as we age. So what it talked about was progressed and moved forward in a subsequent article in the same context that was published in 2023. What those two articles put together have been able to yield, in essence, 12 hallmarks of aging that we're going to discuss. So first, we're going to talk about something that's called genomic instability. By the way, don't let the names dissuade you from listening to this, because this is a way that you can be able to improve your overall health. So we're going to explain each one of these things so that you get it. So genomic instability is, as we age, our DNA, the very blueprint of our cells, becomes damaged. And when that damage accumulates over time, it can lead to different types of diseases like cancer. Think about it like a book, so that when the pages start to tear, the words become unreadable. And this damage impacts how well our body is able to function. Second, we have telomere attrition. So what the heck is that? Telomeres are like the protective caps at the end of our chromosomes. In essence, it's like as if you had the caps on the end of your shoelaces that come off. Those plastic tips, they cause a shoelace to fray if they're not there. It's the same type of thing with the elements of chromosomes. So what happens is that fraying can cause these things to worsen, and that shortened telomeres are linked to a decline in cellular function and is one of those markers of aging. Number 3 is something that's called epigenetic alterations. I know the names are tough, but hang with me. We're going to explain each one. So what this is it refers to the way in which genes are expressed, meaning how our body reads our genetic code. As we age, certain genes turn on and others are off. The problem with this is that if they're not in the right context, it can harm our health. So imagine our body's instructions becoming a bit confused and you end up following the wrong ones. Fourth is that of the loss of something that's called proteostasis. It's a fancy term for when our cells stop recycling and repairing proteins properly. Think of it as a malfunctioning recycling center. In essence, you have this damaged proteins that are present and they build up and they lead to diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and your cells just can't keep up with the mess that accumulates. Fifth, we have something that's called mitochondrial dysfunction. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of our cell. As we age, they become less efficient and your energy production drops. It's like having a battery that slowly is losing its charge. It's a major factor in the loss of vitality as we age. Next, we have something that's called cellular senescence. This is when cells stop dividing and become quote unquote zombie cells. They're still around, but they no longer function properly, and they can release harmful substances that lead to inflammation. The next hallmark is stem cell exhaustion. Our body's stem cells are the repairman of our tissues. But as we get older, we lose many of these repairmen. Without them, our tissues can't regenerate as efficiently. The next hallmark is the reduction and altered intercellular communication, which refers to the breakdown in how our cells communicate with each other. As we age, signals between cells become muddled, leading to inflammation and tissue damage. The next hallmark is deregulated nutrient sensing. And this is one where our body, its ability to be able to process and respond to nutrients becomes less efficient over time, which can lead to problems with metabolism and weight gain. Next hallmark is one of molecular damage that takes place. And in essence, our body's molecules, proteins, lipids, and DNA, It gets damaged from things like UV radiation, pollution, and just stress. And this damage piles up, which results in contributing to aging and disease. Inflammation, as we know, is a bad thing. And this inflammation is one of our hallmarks. Sometimes it's a good thing when we think about it being able to result in regenerative type changes, when we think about being able to have tissues remodel, but chronic inflammation causes a whole host of issues. Particularly, it can lead everything from heart disease to arthritis. And it's a major player in the aging process. And finally, we have vascular aging. As we age, our blood vessels lose their elasticity, which can lead to high blood pressure and cardiovascular diseases. It's like a rubber hose that slowly gets more brittle. At the end of the day, one of the things that's pretty darn good about knowing some of these things is that scientists now have clues. Just like if you were watching a detective show and you're like, okay, we got clues, so now we can be able to make some inferences. We can make some guesses, some hypotheses about how we can maybe be able to impact or slow these things down. And so there's now making a huge impact from the original publication of this article back in 2013 to this most recently published article in 2023. And so by taking a look at that, they've been able to say, what are the lifestyle changes that can be impactful to it? What are the different regenerative therapies that can be able to benefit and be able to improve things? How can we be able to improve this using certain pharmaceuticals if it makes sense? Are there certain exercises that we can do to be able to improve this? So as we're able to add these things, we may be able to slow, stop, or even reverse certain aspects of aging. In fact, studies have shown that people can manage inflammation, eat a balanced diet, and exercise regularly can live up to 10 years longer than those who don't. So the key to aging well lies not in just adding years to life, but in adding life to years. So while we are aging and we know that that's inevitable, we can be able to improve how we live and how that aging affects us. So at the end of the day, we know that the mysteries of aging are always going to exist. But the fact of the matter is we can be able to understand them better. And by understanding them better, we can be able to improve our health. So the question I have for you is, how will you age? Do you want to be able to impact your health so that you can be there for your loved ones and do the things that you want to be able to do? If that's the case, then hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so we can be able to teach you how to be prepared and deal with physical and mental health challenges and how you can be able to punch them in the face. Get back to leading life you deserve. Thank you so much and have a great day.